Hello,
Hello.
Oleg, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Did you have a good day today?
Yeah. It's just a lazy day.
I
It's
see.
fine.
Did you go to the office or did you stay at home?
I stayed at home because on Saturdays and Sundays I don't work.
Yes, sure. It's a Sunday weekend, and today we are going to talk about crime and punishment. Is this
Okay.
topic interesting to you?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yes. So I'm going to share the handout with you, and I'd like you to open it.
Okay.
Press on the link and open it. Hello, Evgeny. How are you? Hello.
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Today we are going to talk about punishment and crime. So this is our topic. Uh, you can follow us, listen, or take part in our discussion. Tiff, am I right? Hello, how are you? There is one more student, and Masha is here. Hello, Masha. How are you? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, Masha. Something wrong with your mic? We can't hear you. Try to fix it.
Маша, а вы слышите, о чем мы говорим?
Hello,
О, супер.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How was your day today?
Nothing interesting.
What about the weather? Is it windy, rainy, or snowing?
It is rainy, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I'm feeling that you don't like such a weather, I guess. Am I right?
Yes, I don't like when in winter it's rainy
Yes,
because
sure.
I like snow in winter.
Yes. Still, we hope that there is going to be some snow soon. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Hello, Oksana.
How
I'm
was your
fine.
day
You?
today? Fine, thank you.
It's the usual day.
A usual one.
Nothing.
Sunday weekend, nothing special, as usual. Well, I'd like you to share the handout, please. We are going to talk about crime and punishment. And let's start reading. Oleg, can you open the file?
Yeah.
You're welcome to start.
Okay. Why do we have crime? When will it all stop? It's sad that there is so much crime in our society. It hurts so many people. Most people in the world just want to live happily and be good neighbors. Why do some people turn to crime? Money is a big reason. Many criminals pickpocket, steal, kidnap, or even kill people to get money. There are many terrible crimes in the world. Perhaps the worst is ethnic cleansing. This is a crime against humanity. Many people are killed because of their color or religion. People who commit this crime rarely go to prison. Have you ever been a victim of crime? What do you think we need to do to reduce crime rates? Perhaps you should write to your government. Tell your leaders enough is enough.
Okay, thank you. Very good reading and very good pronunciation. And
Thank you.
the question to you. So, what do you think about crime? Why do we have so many crimes in our society?
Um, I think it's the result of I don't know this balance of rich and poor people, and everyone wants to be better, but not everyone has this opportunity. And because of that, people are so desperate, they become so desperate that they have to commit a crime. And there's nothing we can do except to uh, trying to stop them, trying to scare them with consequences of their crimes.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Thank you for your answer. Masha, have you ever been a victim of a crime? Have you ever witnessed a crime? It seems Masha is not with us. And Boris,
Yes,
you're
hello.
welcome. You're welcome to answer the question. Have you ever witnessed the crime, or have you ever been a victim of it?
No, I never be a victim, and I never saw how it happened.
Yes. Good of you. You're a lucky person, I can say. Am I right?
Maybe.
Yes. Here we've got the questions for discussion after the text. I'd like you to pay attention to them. And the first question is to Alexander. So, are some parts of this city considered more dangerous than others? And which parts? So you live in the city, and maybe in the city some parts are considered to be more dangerous than the others. Alexander? Can you hear us?
Okay, Oksana, do you send link to Atif?
Yes, I did.
Atif, do you hear us?
Yes.
No.
Atif, do you hear us? Can you answer the question? No answer, so Atif is only listening, I guess. And what about you, Boris? What do you think about
I
your
don't
city?
understand question.
Are some parts of your city considered more dangerous than the others? And which parts? What is your
Some
native
parts
city?
of my city. No, I don't think that some part is more dangerous. It's
Are more dangerous?
are more dangerous.
So all the same, it doesn't
Yes.
matter what part it is, so it has no difference. Am I right?
Yes.
Are there any places you are afraid to visit because of the high crime rate? If so, where? This is the question for Michael.
I don't follow. What is the question?
Yes, so are there any places you are afraid to visit because of high crime rate? If so, where?
No, last time I don't hear about some place in Kiev. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Thank you for your answer. I guess that there is something wrong with Atif's mic, and he can't hear us, and something's going wrong. Atif, can you hear us? There is no answer. So we can't hear you. Try to open the link if it is possible, please. Good, and follow our discussion. The next question. Are there problems with drugs where you live? This is for Oleg.
No problem with the drugs.
Yes, Oleg, what about you? What is your native city? Where do you live?
I'm from Volgograd, but currently I reside in United States, in Washington.
In Washington.
Yeah.
Is there any problem with drugs or not?
No, I heard couple stories about it, but I never saw it myself, so I don't think so. I live in a pretty nice district, so there is no such a problem.
There is no such a problem. Good of you. Yes. The next question. Are you apprehensive about walking outside after dark? This is for Michael.
Maybe
This is a
Boris.
question. Are you afraid to walk by yourself after dark?
What is apprehensive?
So it is possible. So it is possible for you. You are not afraid of walking outside after dark. This is acceptable for you.
Yes, it's acceptable for me.
Okay. Do you always lock your house? How about your car, Boris?
Lock? Yes, I always lock my flat, and I don't have a car.
Yes, okay. Do you drink and drive?
No.
Yes. What about you, Oleg? Do you think that it is necessary to be sober while driving and not to drink alcohol while driving?
Yeah, of course it's necessary, but here in the United States it's not that strict. A lot of people drive and drink unless they can go straight. So, but in my country, in Russia, it's very strict. You can lose your driver license pretty easily. But here it's not that strict. So people go to bar, then they come back to their homes, and they're not really sober. They're a little bit drunk, so they can consume like a couple bottles of beer pretty easy.
Yes. Michael, do you agree with Oleg?
I'm sorry, I don't follow the dialogue because I do something. Maybe I come in 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Good of you. Alexander, can you hear us? Are you going to participate in our discussion? It seems Alexander is only listening. Okay. And the next question is more ethical one. So, do you think abortion is a crime? This is for you, Boris.
No, I don't think that because the woman can decide by herself. What?
About it.
What?
About it.
Yes, and to have or not to have some child, it's normally, for my opinion.
Yes. Well, thank you. Oleg, do you agree with Boris?
I think it's a choice of a girl to decide whether it's crime or not. I think it's more morality choice. So I'm not really sure. But for me, I think I don't like it, so I'm against it, I think.
Thank you for your answer. Boris, do you think that gun control is a good idea, and explain why?
Gun control? I think that gun control is a better idea because I think that if all people have a gun, such like in America, they can do that. The crime, не могу сказать. То есть уровень преступности был бы ниже. Crime level will be lower.
Lower, yes, good of you. Well, do you agree, Oleg?
I don't know if you take a look at statistics in the United States, crime I think is like higher than in, for example, in Russia, and a lot of countries that made guns available for everyone. It's like worse. It's not really helped. So I guess it should be controlled, and it should be controlled very strictly.
Yes, thank you. The question to you, Boris. Do you think people who use illegal drugs should be put in jail?
No, I don't think so, because their choice, and why some substance is legal, such as vodka or some beer or some tobaccos, but another substance is not legal. I don't understand it.
Thank you. Oleg, do you agree? Do you think the same? What's your opinion about this?
I think those who consume it should not go to jail. Those who sell them, they should go. That's
Yes,
my
I think that it is fair. I agree with you completely. This is a good way out. Like, do you watch TV dramas? And do you think that they are realistic about the police, about crime, and something like that?
No, I don't really watch them, but I think I watched a couple of times, and they were really like realistic with like about racism and something like this. Yeah, it was really scary to see all those problems in the United States.
I see. What about you, Boris? Do you think police TV dramas are realistic or not?
I see some serials such as Criminal Minds, and they are, for my opinion, it's realistic.
They are realistic.
They are realistic, yes.
What dramas have you seen? Do you remember them?
What?
Which ones have you seen? Can you share?
I name it. It's name Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. Okay, thank you. Do you think policemen should be allowed to carry guns? Boris?
Should be allowed to carry guns?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Weapon. To have some weapon with them.
Yes. If they not have a weapon, what is the policeman? They. I don't understand.
Okay. What about you, Oleg? Do you think the same?
Yeah, I think they have to protect themselves because it's pretty dangerous out there, and a lot of times they're in danger. They have to shoot, they have to protect themselves, or they have to scare some criminals with their guns. So I think it's necessary.
It's necessary. Thank you. Hello, Orkan. How are you? Can you hear us? Orkan? Hello, how are you? No answer. So, I guess Orkan is going to listen only. Then the next question is for Boris. Do you think that capital punishment is a good idea? Why or why not?
Capital punishment, it's like штраф?
Yes, something like that.
If the crime is not heavy, such like a murder or something like that, it's a good idea.
Oleg, do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate.
It's appropriate, yes.
Yeah.
Say it, hello, can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us? How was your day today? How are you? Can you hear us? It seems no answer. Okay, let's go on with our questions. The question for Oleg. Do you think that punishment for violent crimes should be the same for juveniles and adults? Why not?
No, I don't think so. I think they have to be separate. There should be like a special punishments for juveniles. I think there shouldn't be so strict as for adults, and like juveniles have to be more talked to, so they have to be explained why is it bad or not, because adults are, I think they're grown-ups, they already know everything, so that's why.
Yes, thank you. I agree with you completely. Do you think that it is possible to remain a good person after being in prison? Or do you think that it changes the life absolutely and the person can't lead the same life as it was before? What's your point of view?
So for me?
Yes.
Question. I think sometimes people can change, But the problem is that it's difficult to find job to become a good citizen after you were in prison. So I think they should have support from government. So, and we in Russia, we don't have this much this kind of support, and because of that, it's pretty difficult to change.
Thank you. Thank you. Boris, do you think the same? What's your point of view about this question?
I think in our country, the humans which was in prison is
Who was in prison?
Who was in prison, they are not changed, because the prison in our country is very bad place, and they maybe learning some new skills there, but not перевоспитываются, в общем.
Not becoming better. They are not becoming better ones.
Yes.
What is the way to change the person after the crime? And is it possible to change the person after he or she has committed the crime? Boris?
The way change person, I don't know. I don't think about that, but I think that if all level of education and moral in country is high, and all have a guns, it will be better, and the crime level will be low.
Thank you for your answer. Do you think that death penalty would prevent crime in our country? Why and why not? Well, Oleg, you're welcome.
No, I don't think so. I think the problem with death penalty is that
Yes?
Oleg, turn on your microphone. Because
We don't hear you.
Hello?
Yes?
Okay, so I think that death penalty is wrong because there are a lot of people are dying because of this wrong judgment, and you cannot do anything about it. For example, if someone is in prison for his lifetime, he still can be released if like judge find that he's not how to say it,
Guilty. Thank you for your answer. Boris, do you agree with Oleg?
I think that in some countries it's good that they have death punishment.
Penalty.
Penalty, but in Ukraine or maybe in Russia it will be bad if it will provide, because
to provide this.
What?
To provide this.
To provide this because of corrupted
corruption, because of corruption.
Because of corruption, yes.
Thank you. Michael, do you think the same? Do you agree with Oleg and Boris?
About death penalty, yes.
About death penalty?
Yes, I think sometimes yes, sometimes we need to make it because we have some type of crime which need to, how to say it, to special reaction.
Yes, okay, I agree with you. Thank you. Well, Said, can you hear us? Or can you hear us?
No.
We can hear you. Something's wrong with your mic, so try to fix it and participate in our discussion, okay?
I said we how to change settings.
Okay? Yes, okay. Thank you. Let's come back to our handout. And here we've got the text. After the discussion, we've got the text, crime and punishment.
Hello.
Have you found it?
Now we have to say hello.
Hello? So, Orkan, hello. Saeed, how are you? Can you hear us?
Somebody say
Latif?
okay.
О,
Oleg, can you hear us?
Yes, I
Good.
can.
Yes. So, I'd like you to open the file and find the text, crime and punishment. Have you found it?
Yes.
It is after discussion. Boris, have you found it?
yes.
Good of you. And now we've got the podcast. I'd like you to follow the text and listen to the podcast, okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Say hello. I don't understand. Atif.
Which mummy answer dena the
О,
like hello.
something happened.
Hello, I'm from Pakistan. Could you hear me?
Oksana.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thanks. That's great.
Yes,
I guess
I can hear you.
okay, thanks. I'm from Pakistan. My name is Atif.
Okay, good of you. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Fine. Today we are discussing the topic crime and punishment. And
Yes,
Mhm.
I have seen your handout a little bit. I have gone through that.
Okay, good of you. So, what do you think about the death penalty? Is it good to have a death penalty in your country?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
In general, what do you think about death penalty? Do you think that it is a good idea to use it?
Are you talking about crime
Yes.
rate in our
Yes.
country? Okay. If you listen news or any channel, so if we look today, 2 or 3 days ago, and we have just faced some kind of a disaster in our city. School children have been killed by the terrorists, and crime rate is very high in one of the city named as Karachi as well. So it
Thank you
is
for your answer.
very
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like you to open the handout, and in the handout we have got the text about crime and punishment. Please find it.
okay.
Have you found it?
Yes, I have opened this document.
Crime and punishment. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on the podcast, and you are going to follow the text. Okay.
Oksana.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We have a Saif which makes a lot of sound.
Yes, Said, how are you? Can you hear us? Said, can you hear us? How are you? Can you hear us?
Okay, we muted.
I suppose Said is only listening. Am I right?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So here is the podcast about crime and punishment, and you've got the text in your handouts. I'd like you to follow the text and listen to the podcast. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
In this country. Ball boy, difficult, and politics. The subject of the podcast today is a difficult and serious one. It is about a small boy who was murdered 17 years ago. The murder and what happened afterward are still very controversial and arouse strong emotions in this country. In February 1993, James Bulger was nearly 3 years old. He lived in Bootle, which is a town north of Liverpool in the northwest of England. One day he went shopping with his mother, Denise. She went into a butcher's shop to buy some meat. James stayed outside. When Denise returned a few minutes later, James was gone. Some children found James's body on a ground beside a railway line a few days later. He had been beaten to death with bricks, stones, and an iron bar. Whoever had killed him then placed James's body on the railway line so that it would look as if he had been killed by a train. There were closed-circuit television in the shopping centre where James had disappeared. The police found pictures of James. He was holding the hand of an older boy or a young man. Together with another boy, they were leaving the shopping centre. The police published the photos in the press, and a member of the public was able to identify the people who had taken James. They were two 10-year-old boys.
Thank you for listening. And now the question to you: what have you understood from the podcast, Oleg?
This is a story about a crime, about towards James Bulger. When he was 3 years old, he was found dead, and he was killed by someone, by a stranger, by a young man or a boy, and this killer was trying to hide his crime by putting by James' body on the railway line. So yeah, that's basically
Yes.
some. Yeah.
So, thank you for listening. And Boris, what have you understood?
Boris, go out.
Went out. I see. Okay. Let's go on listening.
Called Robert Thompson and John Venables. The police arrested them, and they were later found guilty of the murder of James Bulger. The story was headline news for many weeks. The whole country was horrified, both by the mindless murder of a small child and by the fact that the killers were themselves children. In Liverpool, feelings ran particularly high, and the families of the two 10-year-old killers were forced to go into hiding. After the trial, John and Robert spent 8 years in secure children's homes, where they received an education. Then, when they were 18 years old, they were let out, but with strict conditions about where they could live and what they could do. They were given new identities, that is, new names and so on, to protect them from the media and from people who might want to kill them. Was this the right punishment for them? James's mother, Denise.
The question to you is: was it the right punishment for them? And was it fair to let them go? Oleg, what do you think?
I think authorities have to send a specialist to talk to them and see if they're to understand their mind, because some kids are really evil. Some kids can just continue doing crimes and you cannot do anything about it, so they have to be punished. But if they really regret about it, if they really changed, if they want to live a normal life, then I think after all those years they have to be released. But of course they have to be protected by those new identities, because parents of this small kid, I think they want to hunt them, they want to find them and punish by themselves.
Yes, thank you. Michael, do you agree with Oleg?
Okay, maybe Atif turn on microphone because I turn it off in how to say it? All people, to all people. Okay.
Yes, Atif, can you hear us? Turn on your mic, please.
Push on the button on the top of the screen. Okay. What is the question?
So, do you agree that it is possible to let out children after the imprisonment after having committed such a crime?
What we can do with the children?
Yes. So there were two children, and they were sent to prison. They were 10 years old, and they have spent 8 years in prison for murder. Yes. After that, they have been let out of prison, and they have been given the other identities and sent to the society again. Do you think that it is a good idea to send back children to the society again after the imprisonment, or not?
How to say? I don't. It's hard to imagine this situation. I think a variant maybe we can do is like writing in a law. And, we haven't variant.
I see. Thank you. Orkan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good.
Okay. Can you try to give me a question, please?
Yes. So what do you think about the children in prison? Is it possible to let them go into the society again after the imprisonment? Or it is impossible to change their minds and change their spirits in prison? What do you think? What's your point of view?
First of all, I think that in the children person, I don't know actually how's it going on. Maybe some of the out of the there, maybe some of the person get out the children as a result, and then maybe if some of the other people see this evidence, and this some calling maybe police, and there is found it's this man. On the other hand, the advance of this situation, maybe I think that is found as this person. That's it.
It depends upon the person. Am I right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Thank you. Here we have got the podcast, and let's listen till the very end. Okay? Please turn off your mics and try to listen to it. Okay?
Okay.
Describes John and Robert as. She says they have never been and that the justice she and many others believe that it was wrong to release the young men.
Oksana, sound is very bad. I don't hear nothing. I hear nothing.
It's not clearly hearing.
Oksana, try to change
I can't hear you, Michael. It is very noisy. Very noisy.
You don't make by mark you can generate
Well, Orkan, can you turn off your mic?
Mike?
Yes?
Yes, I can hear him, but it's not clearly because so I'm clearly hearing him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Turn off microphone when we hear podcast.
I should turn off my mic?
No,
Orkan's mic. Just a minute.
Okay.
At one point, indeed, the government tried to have John and Robert kept in prison at least until they were aged 25. But the courts said that the government had no power to interfere. Now the case is back in the news. A few weeks ago, the police arrested John Venables, and he is now in prison. The government have refused to say why, but the press have reported that it is connected with pornographic images of children. Immediately, the old controversy started again. Many people say, "I told you so, it was a mistake ever to release John and Robert. They are dangerous and ought to be in prison for many years. And it was a mistake, too, to give them new identities. People should know who they are and what they have done." What does this tell us about the sort of country which Britain is? We send a lot of people to prison. In fact, we have more people in prison in relation to population than anywhere else in Europe. But we still do not feel safe. Sometimes it seems that crime is a national obsession. At the same time, we know that many prisoners, when they leave prison, go back to a life of crime. A government minister once remarked that prison is an expensive way of making bad people worse. A recent survey showed that most people agree that it is important to help people who have committed crimes to reorganize their lives, to stop using drugs, to get an education and a job, and so on. But cases like the murder of James Bulger create a very strong emotional reaction, and this makes rational discussion of how best to deal with crime and criminals much more difficult.
Thanks for listening. And here in the very end of our podcast, we can say that the author has got the opinion about crime in Great Britain. He says that Britain and British people do not feel safe. Nevertheless, very many people remain in prisons. So, what do you think the problem in British society is, Oleg? Oleg is not with us.
We lose some people, and maybe I help us.
Okay. Said, can you answer the question?
Atif.
Yes. Atif, can you answer the question?
Yes, could you repeat your question?
So in the very end of the podcast, the author says that still it is very dangerous in British society to live. Nevertheless, many people are in prisons, so society is still in danger. What do you think the problem is?
I think in your broadcast, I have heard about the criminals, about them. Court has declared that we can't arrest them before 25 age, and they had rejected the government decision because government don't have any right to make any assistance about that. So I think that was not a good idea to uh, uh, to send them back in a society. It's better to give them a punish
Okay,
or hang them on.
okay, I'm sorry. Hassan, when you don't speak, please don't turn on your microphone. Okay. No, so Atif, you can continue the answer.
Yes, we are listening to you. You're welcome. So,
Okay,
do you
okay.
think
I
that
think there was some distortion.
it was a mistake to
I
give
think that,
a new identity to the boy and to send him back to the society?
yes, it was a mistake.
And what do you think is a good idea for children that are in prison? How can we bring them back to society, or it is not possible?
I think it's better to make some special environment or a special learning environment where they can change their and they can brainwash their minds with the good and capturing thoughts, not with the criminal minds. Because if we send them back if we send them back to the same society, uh, they can do the same thing in the future because they have come from the same society. So if we are going to send them back without giving them any punishment, it could cause further problems in future.
Have you ever witnessed a crime, and have you ever been in such a situation?
Luckily or unluckily, I haven't been a victim with any or and not been any witness with of any crime.
Where are you from? What is your native town, native city?
I'm from Pakistan and from Islamabad.
Okay. So, do you think that it is dangerous to live in your city? Are there any regions that are more dangerous than the other ones?
No, it's where we are living. It's a very safe and peaceful area. But if we talk about the other cities like Karachi, that was the previous capital of Pakistan, it's too hard and very dangerous to live over there
Yes, and
because
why?
crime rate in Karachi is too high.
What's your opinion about death penalty? Do you think that it is a good practice to implement it in society or not?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What's your opinion about the death penalty? Do you think that it is a good practice to do or not?
I can't say something very clearly because it's happening in a very big level. So many factors are involved over here in this kind of situations. Like you could say external factors and the people and their minds are being changed by external factors. So this is very difficult for government for the whole nation to resolve this issue.
This issue.
If
What
I
about
see
Pakistan? About your country? How is it made in your country? Do you practice it or not?
there's some kind of campaign has been running for a long time. That is the purpose of this campaign is to change the people's mind, because one thing that everybody or every nation can do is on individual level. So
Thank you. And what is
each
your
and
personal point of view about it?
like for the timing, I have no question about that.
What's your personal point of view about this problem? What do you think about it? About death penalty?
My personal opinion is if the criminal if the criminals are not they are adults, then we should make some kind of community that change just to change and brainwash their minds to do good deeds and avoid this kind of crimes. And
This
if
kind.
they are yes, if they are if they have passed this age, I mean to say that they are above 25 or 27 years, then they must be punished.
Yes, thank you for your opinion. Said and Orkan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you agree with the Tiff about these aspects?
Sorry?
Do you agree with the Tiff?
Yes, I agree with him because he's actually really understandable clearly of the saying. I'm also understand. I agree with him.
What's your native city? Where are you from?
I'm from Azerbaijan. I live in Baku.
Baku, yes. Okay. Good. And what is the situation of crime in your city?
In our country,
Yes.
in our country is so many security all of the where in Baku I'm saying because of the situation in some of the places and anywhere of the security guard state, and I think that not have any crime accident creating anywhere.
I see. Well, Said, can you hear us? Said, can you hear us? I suppose Said is still fixing.
I do.
You do? Okay. So what's your point of view about crime
About crime,
in your country?
crime, or
Where are you from?
I'm from Azerbaijan.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I'm from Azerbaijan.
Where is it?
Okay. And what about the
I'm
situation?
sorry, I don't understand. Said, could you write in the chat
Yes.
the name of the country or city? Okay, I see.
Azerbaijan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what's the situation with crime in your country?
I think the crime rate in Azerbaijan is not high because our government regulate the level of crime and everything is normal about it. But like anywhere, we have crimes, and this person who commit crimes, they go to prison, and that's all.
Yes, thank you. What do you think is the way out of this situation? How can we change the crime rates in your country and all over the world?
I think the punishment must be tough
Mhm.
to make the level of crime to fall, and in some cases there must be death penalty. I think it will make the level of crime low.
Lower. And in what cases? What are the cases that death
For
penalty should be
example,
implemented?
China, for example, in Iran or in China, when somebody sell narcotics in
Drugs.
big amount,
Mhm.
drugs in big amount,
Amounts.
they get death penalty,
Yes.
and because of it, the drug selling is low, and nobody uses drug because everybody is scared.
Of this punishment.
Yes.
Mhm. Thank you. Do you think that it is a good idea to have such a punishment for drugs crime?
Yes, I agree with this because if we are not going to give any kind of punishment, and this could be very difficult for them to live or just to be an normal person, to lead a normal life.
To live a normal life. Yes, thank you. To sum up, I'd like to say that today we're talking about crime and punishment, and we have refreshed some active vocabulary in our discussion, and I think that you've understood the podcast and you've drawn your conclusions from it. I invite you to my next classes that are going to be next week and participate in our debates and discussions. Maybe there are some questions you'd like to ask.
I haven't.
Yes.
I haven't question.
You haven't got one. Okay. What about you, Said, Orhan, and Tiff?
My point views in the crime punishment in the of the world in the future maybe a little bit very lowing percentage is lowing. I hope you of the world because if the everywhere punishment and crime creating all of the way and some of the person everywhere dying and as a result creating dangerous situation. And so I hope so of the world in future also were littling crime. That's all.
So you're optimistic about the
Yes.
future. So, in this optimistic note, I'd like to finish our today's class, and I wish you to have a good Sunday's evening, and invite you to my future classes. And bye for today.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Which topic we are going to discuss in the next class?
Next class, you can have a look on the schedule, and there should be some topics you can choose from. And after the class, there will be the timetable, and you'll see them, all of them, and you'll be able to choose the one you like most of all.
Okay.
Participate in our classes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good time.
Bye for now. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.